Well, welcome back to Better Kansas City. We're chatting about a Kansas reopening plan, the pandemic's impact on minority businesses, how schools can look different next year, launching astronauts into outer space, and tasty lockdown recipes. That's my type of news programming right there. Gina Bullard from KCTV5 News this morning is here with a look at what's making news today. I am still just so baffled and confused by a lot of these because there's just so many different reopening policies going around depending on where you live at, where you work at. Kansas is no longer having their statewide related policy. What's new here with what the governor said yesterday?
So it just makes your head spin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Governor Laura Kelly, her Ad Astra plan is no longer valid. So now that means that counties can make up their own plans going forward.
Interesting.
So this is a big shift because it was just a blanket statement, all of Kansas is going to follow these rules. No longer. So local public health officials will follow phase 2, which was her plan, until June 8th. That means wearing a mask in public, still social distancing, but businesses can open. Gatherings of more than 15 people are not allowed still. And officials say they're just going to analyze the data as it comes and then kind of go from there. But we'll stay in phase 2 in Kansas for now.
And Kansas just presents unique challenges because given you have areas like Kansas City, Wichita, Topeka, versus Western Kansas, where your next closest neighbor may be 10 miles away. So interesting there, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Now, the pandemic has really affected the economy and local businesses differently, but now we're finding out that more black business owners have been impacted or taken kind of the brunt of the impact.
They really have. So the number of working African American small business owners, it plummeted more than 40% in the U.S. That's a far steeper drop than any other racial group experienced. The studies have said that the pandemic will deepen the inequalities that are kind of already there, and that's what we're seeing, especially in the business world.
Yeah, it's frustrating to hear, and hopefully those business owners have reached out to their local governments because there's always help that can be given in, and hopefully that help is able to be distributed to those business owners as well. It's already weird to talk about this, but we're already talking about the next school year and how coronavirus is going to impact that. I got my hair cut yesterday, and that was the topic of conversation with the gal who was cutting my hair. Is like, what's school going to look like next year?
There's just so many unknowns, right? And it affects all of our daily lives.
Exactly.
Parents are trying to figure it out. But this new study came out, and it's kind of concerning. 1 in 5 teachers say they don't want to go back in the fall. They want to be done. They want to resign. And there's a few reasons for it. That figure is even higher for teachers who are 55 years old and older. But they're worried about coronavirus concerns, just not feeling safe. Also, their workload has really increased. Doing these online classes is not easy. As all of us know, working from home is very hard. So their job got a lot harder, and they're just having a hard time with the whole thing. And 2/3 of teachers said that they are working much more harder than they've ever had to work during this pandemic.
Well, I just saw what our teachers in our district did to pivot, from classroom learning to 2 weeks later, we were learning from home, They made that adjustment so quick. I can't imagine what that was like on them having to pivot like that.
And we know what they make. You know what I mean? It's like they're dealing with a lot.
But you know what? The teachers I've met, they don't do it for the money. They do it to take care of our kids, and they love working with the kids. And that was their biggest regret, is missing them towards the back half of the year. All right, we got to move on because this is my favorite story of the day. I am so excited about this. My parents used to record the shuttle launches for me when I was a kid, and I'm so excited that SpaceX is going to launch today from the U.S. for the space station.
I love this.
Yes.
Okay. We are going to have liftoff, hopefully, in just a few hours. So SpaceX Dragon launching that first mission to space in almost a decade. So we are a go to make history. First time in 10 years that the U.S. has launched actual astronauts from U.S. soil, which is really exciting. We've been taking rides on Russia's spacecraft. Get this, for $80 million a seat.
Oh, that's it?
No big deal.
Pocket change.
So again, first ever manned mission for SpaceX, also very exciting for them. And I just was thinking, we've been through so much as a country. The last few months have been really tough. So we just need something stunning, something to bring us all together, something really positive. So this is going to be awesome.
A nice unifying moment.
Yeah, and one of the astronauts is actually from Missouri.
Oh, a local boy.
Yes, isn't that awesome?
Right. We got to talk about, before we go, lockdown recipes. This is a topic on KCTV5 News this morning. I don't know if you were joining us there, but Joe had an input on a dish that he's been making. Why don't you go ahead?
This is just embarrassing for Joe, for all of us. So a lot of people are Googling recipes.
Yes.
And so we were talking about some of the most Googled recipes from during pandemic. And one of them is pancakes. And Joe said that is the hardest food to make of all time. Not just like breakfast food, of all time.
Of all time.
All time. But people are making pancakes. They're also making banana bread. That's a simple one, so I think a lot of people are doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of bananas. Meatloaf, which I thought was interesting.
Use the same pan as your banana bread.
Exactly. And then some baked ravioli, and then sourdough crackers.
Okay.
You've seen everybody probably baking bread and having the sourdough starter, but now they're really expanding it to crackers. I was impressed with that
CBS
one.
Sunday Morning had a nice piece on baking bread here just last Sunday. So yeah, some really cool and crafty bakers out there.
I love it.
All right, we got to go. That is Gina Bullard from KCTV5 News this morning. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.